Lucid Motors is going absolutely parabolic. There is no other way to put this. Just Friday alone up 17.34%, and after hours down a minimal 0.92%. So we're definitely seeing a parabolic rally here. But how long is this going to last? What should you do with your Lucid Motors position? Is it time to take profits? Is it time to double down? How long is this going to last, and how would I trade this? That's what we're going to talk about in this video. As well as that, we're going to go over the short interest, because we are seeing this short interest going up a lot, and this is something that should definitely be acknowledged. There's definitely a lot more fuel in the tank as far as shorts needing to cover is concerned. As well as that, we're going to go over the option activity, what is propping up Lucid Motors valuation, and like I said, how long all of this could last. So drop that like on the video, consider subscribing to the channel if you guys want more insight into what I am thinking, the trades that I am making. Check out that link for the buy and sell alerts in the description of this video, as well as multiple other links to join my favorite brokerages and get free stock. So definitely take advantage of that. Who knows how long those promotions will last. So let's get into this video, guys. Like I said, Lucid Motors up 17.34% on Friday, only down less than 1% in the after hours period. So a very minimal move. We moved up $8.16 per share. We did close at $55.21 per share in regular trading. Those are just levels that I did not predict to happen this year, but they have happened, and we cannot argue with the facts that people are buying Lucid Motors. And this is not just a short squeeze. This is not just a gamma squeeze. This is not just fundamental news that the company is doing great, which it is all of those things. But the biggest thing you are seeing right now is traders and FOMO buyers buying into Lucid Motors. The whole time, the last 6 months, when I was preaching on this channel that I was buying Lucid Motors every chance that I could and acquiring as many shares as possible and bringing you guys all the due diligence, a lot of people hated that. But now, once the price goes up, more people tend to pile in. That is just what happens. So I do think there's still more room to run here with Lucid Motors, but we'll talk about what I would do, how I would trade this, and how I would go about investing in just 1 second. Now, as far as the technicals are concerned, you guys can see this trend line that I have had drawn up, and it's pretty much following this to a T. Now, this level that I had right here, which was about $44, was the level that I was watching for the downside. And to see this consolidation pan out, just like we've seen back here for about 4 or 5 days or so, going in between $40 and $44 per share just this one day, and staying above 44 for all of these other days, it looks like a solid support level. So if you're looking for any potential downside, what is your near-term worst case scenario? Like, to say, if come Monday the stock's down, where would be the worst case scenario? Or Tuesday after you made a trade? I think the worst case scenario in the near term is going to be about $44 per share. That's not to say it couldn't go lower. That's to say, if you initiate a trade, like I said, and you're bagging on this to go higher and it falls the next day, I think the 1 day drop would probably put us down to about $44 if we do see a massive sell-off. But now we are at this $55 level, guys, right at our resistance level. And I put this line on as more of a psychological resistance level as we did start to get closer to $65. I actually put this on a couple days ago. So I have been predicting this, and we followed through just with what the chart is showing us. So we are likely to see a little bit of consolidation around 55, maybe, trade in this diagonal pattern, this triangle shape right here, and then eventually break out to the upside above 55. But we could go down at the same time. The main thing that is propping up Lucid Motors valuation, because FOMO buying, short squeezes, gamma squeezes, that's all great, but it doesn't last all too long. What is propping up Lucid Motors valuation is Rivian's insane valuation. And this valuation is just off the charts. There is no explaining this. So the market cap of Rivian is about $110 billion. They are delivering less vehicles than Lucid Motors. Arguably a worse company if you take out the Amazon deal, and now today we got news that Ford is no longer partnering with them to make vehicles. I think the valuation of $110 billion certainly goes out the window. You could slice this into thirds. You could say this company is worth $30 billion if the partnership with Amazon, and now we have already seen the Ford partnership dissolve, But if that Amazon partnership goes away, this valuation is going to get slashed. So watch out for that. And there is a rumor that is going around that I have not been able to confirm, that Rivian's mileage per charge is a lot more hyped up than what it actually is. And it is rumored that Amazon is specifically questioning their range, because if you're an Amazon driver, you don't have time to stop and charge your vehicle for a half an hour at the time, give or take, right? To stop and do that, you have to be on the go. You have to deliver as many packages as possible, and that's all Amazon is about. So if that falls through, I'm not saying it's going to, if it does, that is going to be a huge blow to Lucid Motors. But the fact Rivian's valuation is up so high, you can see Rivian was only up 4.23% today, and Lucid Motors was up over 17.5% today, with virtually no news from Lucid Motors itself. So it's definitely a feedback loop, with Rivian going up, Lucid going up, Rivian coming down, Lucid just taking the cake as far as investors looking for the next Tesla, but split between Rivian and Lucid. They're going back and forth, sharing pretty much investors and capital, in my personal opinion. So that does help to prop up the valuation. I'm not sold on it actually being worth $55 per share at the current moment, with the market cap at about $90.9 billion. But still, I'm not going to sit here and go against the trend and argue the market. As far as the technical setup, like I said, we are set up for a move to the upside, still likely to see a little bit of consolidation in the next couple of trading days until we do make that move to the upside. But as far as the option activity is concerned, we've seen a lot of contracts that did expire in the money, specifically at that $55 strike. You've seen 12,276 contracts expire in the money. Take a look at the $50 strike, 17,745, $48 strike, 18,000, 15,000, 11,000, 12,000, 9,000, just insane numbers of contracts that expired in the money. So there was a lot of hedging that had to happen. But even going further out the chain to, let's say, the December 17th, you're still seeing thousands of contracts that are likely to expire in the money at all of these expirations, or nearly all of these expirations. So there's definitely a lot of fuel to the fire, per se, if you're talking about a continued gamma squeeze. And the FOMO buyers, they are just here to stay for the near term, in my personal opinion. Now, as far as the short squeeze aspect is concerned, we've seen a big jump in the short interest for the day, up 20.03%. The short interest estimates at 9.63%, borrowed shares of about 10 million for the day, and return shares of about 1.5 million. These are incredible numbers considering this major rally that we have had. So if these shares that were borrowed shares today, that's not to say they were necessarily sold short into the marketplace, but if they were sold short into the marketplace with some of these up and down moves that we've seen throughout the day today, that is very alarming if you are a short seller. In other words, that means Lucid Motors could still not even be experiencing its gamma squeeze. And if a gamma squeeze happens, guys, we could go to insane levels, well over $100 per share. But I wouldn't necessarily make trades based off of that, because what comes up must come down, like I said. Now let's run through other key points of this data, which is going to be the share utilization of 48.71%, meaning there is a decent amount of shares that still can be sold short. Quite a lot. The share utilization is going pretty low. Free flow out on loan, 7.32%. Shares out on loan, 41.9 million. So keep all of this in mind. Short interest just jumping like this is incredible. But something that I really want to get across is how I would go about trading this and investing in this, because I'm not a fan of buying stocks on the higher end. We'll go over my position right now, up well over 100%. So I'm not buying Lucid Motors at the current moment, not for the long term, or not for even a swing trade with more shares. That's really not how I want to do this. I'm not looking to swing trade this whatsoever. How I will trade this is with day trades, and that's what I've been doing on strong days like today. If you can recognize that trend and just how Lucid has been performing, starting off the day up 5 or 10%, closing up almost 20% like we've seen today. That could be a very nice day trade, but I don't want to hold on to these contracts or even shares for that matter for multiple days. Now the shares, obviously it's a different realm than options. It's a lot safer. You're not going to lose all your money. You could go on and on and on about the difference between day trading with shares and options, but that is the simple point here, that we are playing with fire at the current moment. And if you're not prepared for that, if you're over leveraging yourself in Lucid Motors trades, it could be great. Well, it's great, but do not get caught on the downside of this. And until we start getting good, just solid revenue numbers, and I know the company is performing much better than anyone had anticipated. That's why I'm so bullish on them. I'm not selling a single share, but we will see some level of a downside. Now, I don't think we're going back down to $20, $25, or even $30 per share. My really worst case scenario, if the whole EV market took a downtrend, probably $33 to $35 per share would be really what I would expect. As long as that doesn't happen, even if we see a downtrend in Lucid, Tesla, Rivian, probably about $40 per share is where you're going to see those buyers start to step back in. So that's really what you guys need to know. Not too much news. The Rivian is holding up the valuation of Lucid. Like I said, propping that up to about $35, $40 per share. That's a reasonable price to acquire Lucid for the long term. So you are seeing some people looking to do that, but really just the gamma squeeze that is continuing to play out, the FOMO buyers, and this huge increase in short interest. And that just does show you that there is the chance here to still see a short squeeze. And I don't think I thought I ever would be saying this if Lucid had ran up this fast and this hard. Like I just initiated my longer term investment on my sister's birthday, September 5th, and this thing is just went crazy. So bringing you guys to my position, my market value of $16,431, up $2,300 on the day, total return of about $10,000, up 155.27%, average cost $21.46 per share, 300 shares, portfolio diversity of about 34.39%. So I'm very, very bullish on Lucid Motors. I never want to sell my shares, at least until Lucid hits $200 a share or higher. That is my personal price target. By 2025, 2026, we could easily be looking at $220 per share. That is based off of my own calculations. Now, as far as the other trade that I do have, I have Lucid $50 calls expiring May 20th, 2022. 3 of them that I did sell for, and this was actually a rollover trade, for $1,620. So my total return down about $240. It doesn't matter to me if by May, which who knows, Lucid will probably be above $50 per share. If we get a big, bearish downtrend in the first couple of months of next year, I'll probably get out of these contracts, because I don't care if Lucid goes back to $15 per share or it goes to $100 per share. I still don't want to sell my shares, but I'm essentially agreeing to sell them for $50 per share, all 300 shares. I still would have collected this amount of about $400 or $4,800 by doing this. So all in all, my real break even is about $66.20 per share until I lose money. If I have to sell my shares, I'm selling them for a massive gain anyways, but I don't think that is going to be the case. I think Lucid will probably be under 50, or at least flirting with that level by May of next year, but only time will tell. I certainly probably don't want to hold these contracts all the way to expiration, unless Lucid does take a move to the downside, and I just think there's no way I could get exercise. Then I'll probably hold on to him, just because, like I said, I don't want to sell my shares for $50 per share, but I was already in a bad trade and had agreed to sell them for $42 per share, so this was a lot better. But that is basically all for this video, guys. Much more room to go higher, considering, like I said, the short interest has been ballooning and we are following this trend line to a T, but what comes up must come back down. So all I'm saying is be very, very safe. I prefer to day trade this even over swing trading this or buying the shares at the current moment. So that is the situation. Hit that like button for me. Consider subscribing to the channel. As well as that, let me know in the comment section, what is your price target for Lucid? How high do you think this could go? Do you think it's overvalued, undervalued? What is your long-term price target? Let me know all of that information. I love to hear from you guys. Like I said, check out the links in the description. If you guys want access to all of my trades, check that out for the buy and sell alert. But that is all. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you in the next one.